It's week 4 of the National Football League, and we'll see the Steelers' reigning league MVP. He really helped drive.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in week 4. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback. On first down, Story. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Rose. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big stroke like that adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Hardman going to go ahead and sit on this one as it'll come out to the 25. Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
Mahomes now on first down. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be out right at the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because
partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere,
It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports, and we'll see the Steelers' Offensive Player of the Year. He's coming off a nice week throwing the ball, 4 touchdown throws. It's the Steelers and the Eagles on...
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He's at the 40. 10, 5. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Steelers.
Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. From the 6. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victor.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. The numbers on the ground for Gainwell last week. 18 carries, 52 yards.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that,
pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
and it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I'll bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Story. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan, really.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. They'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here we go. On 1st down, Garoppolo. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes.
Calling a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
Jack Fox now gets set to punt.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded at the 43. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now a play fake here on 1st down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh 1st.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Ready, 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 go. Hut, hut. Hut, go. Check, hut. Ready, ready. Ready, go. Hut, go. Check, hut. Hut, hut. Ready.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there.
With his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now Garoppolo lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, and pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Boy, they had it at the 1. The false start moves it to the 6 now for 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Storm. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Story. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. 2 straight sacks have him backed up now for a 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun. Story. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, they were backed up on 3rd and goal, and when you saw him start to scramble, my thought process was he'll get what he can and maybe get out of bounds. But he got a little bit greedy there. And in this case, greed was good as he got into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the 2nd quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the 1st quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Story. 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice game.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. So they get the one-score kick. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it? A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need... So that one overturned. They say the knee was down. Be ruled a fumble. Below now, first down throw. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Steelers. Loose inside the 30. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. How about that? Their quarterback on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers are able to add on to their first-half lead.
Okay, we need to double-check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
After the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
This offense hoping to do better than last drive. Remember, they had the fumble that set up the short field, and then they gave up the touchdown, CD.
And so many people talk about how you have to have a short memory after you make a mistake in the NFL. I don't totally subscribe to that, partner. I think that you have to remember what you did and figure out how to not do it again. Get out there and execute the next time out. Avoid those errors and get some momentum built back up for your offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now a handoff coming left is Gainwell.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Garoppolo now. And he's got his man on the out route.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They bring the man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. After the sack on 1st down, Garoppolo.
And his throw is incomplete. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
From the gun, a give to Gainwell.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Here's Jack Fox now,
as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, 2nd quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it and often in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, you see accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume here.
It's really something special when we see a quarterback top 100 yards in one half of football. And if he keeps up this pace in the second half, the NFL record for single-game rushing by a QB is certainly in sight.
Throwing on 1st down. Story. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there as the first half is winding down.
And the Steelers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Point after, right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Well, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball, just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where you see the final score there. Mac Jones leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football to wrap up the week between the Buffalo Bills and the San Francisco 49ers. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. And meanwhile, for the Steelers, you take a look at what their quarterback was able to do running the football. And it's so far so good through 2 quarters as his guys are out in front. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
The first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Off play action. Story. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Hassan Reddick, his 2nd sack of the night.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Their mobile quarterback, 28 yards. And the Steelers take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in.
Now Garoppolo lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. Following the fumble recovery, Story. A little juke, and he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem scrambling for 22 in the first.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun, Story. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, but I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. Let's see what they have drawn up here, a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Garoppolo. He's going to have have the hook up to Gage. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the draw, Gainwell. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. And he is going to lose yardage here. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Their mobile, agile quarterback, 66 yards. And the Steelers get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Now the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And he's taken down. Back in his own 7.
There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw is Garoppolo. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete.
He's up to the 20.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Well, not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort.
Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And he's going to go down. Back in his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays, doing a great individual effort today.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And taken at the 46. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A 54-yard punt return there. And the Steelers add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad is on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo setting up the screen with Gainwell. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side, and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This is taken at the 23. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, so we'll see what they decide to do as they come out of this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
That's multiple times now he's tagged them with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
Ready. Strike 60. Hut, hut.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against a front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Look at the juke. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's go. 22 middle.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shot.
He's got him in, complete. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Here's a screen with Gainwell.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Forced out to his left.
Well, they intercept Garoppolo for the 3rd time. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
They go play action here on 1st down.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the 1st down before taking the hit.
Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
10 cycles.
Off the play fake. Story. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll see Chris Olave. He's coming off a nice performance, bringing in a pair of touchdowns. It's the Saints and the Steelers under the lights on Sunday night.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The 40, the 20, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Steelers. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for a team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bold. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2015 out of Florida State, Jameis Winston.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns.